Hey again, this is Bob. I've got a couple more things here. I had trouble with my hand jumping when I TIG weld. As far as dragging it on something, it moves slightly and it jumps. It's not really smooth. So I figured something out for that later. But first part of that is I made a tap sharpener because I wanted to sharpen taps. So hold on. All right. Just an old chuck. I made a little car with bearings, and it fits in a little track here. It's very simple. It's a piece of angle iron, and it does that. The whole idea is when you put your hand on it, I can't get my gloves on. You put your hand on it with a die grinder, a small one, and you get the angle right on this. You got to get the angle so you're just doing a cutting edge on the flat side. And I'm sorry. Yeah, no, not quite. Okay. All right, now this is square. This has to be rounded. Now there's a little radius, I don't know if you can see it, a little radius on there, just enough to get down in here. So here, we'll give this a shot. See if it's set at the right angle. Got to get so you can get the whole thing. All right. It's actually got to go a little more. There. All right, now we'll give this a shot. Gotta get. And that's it. Now, I know you can see it. Hold on, let me do this. There. Now if you can see, sharpen it right to the edge. It feels sharp, and it gets just where you need, just on the end. Okay, this was an aside thing. What I'm really doing is this little car I used for something else. We put this back where it was. Back to the problem I had with my hand skipping. So I tried this. I got a piece of metal, really smooth, and I put my hand on it. And I would, there's a TIG, and I get it set, get this parallel with the work, but it's hard to see, but it still jumps. And if there's any little thing on here, if there's any little grit or anything, it wants to go over it. So that didn't work out too well. So what I ended up doing is I went online. I remember this stuff from a long time ago. This is low friction tape for drawers and stuff. It's very smooth, very low, I guess, dry coefficient. I don't know if that's right, but it sounds cool. So, and then put your gloves on. Now, once again, I got this guy going. Actually, I improved this a little bit. I put a bar there with a couple groobles, and I see cable ties. Now, you can just slip your hand up in here, boom, and you got it. It goes right in. Coming out, drags a little bit, but anyway, so I improved that, so that works. So anyway, so if you're down here on your work, and you try, be very smooth. This is very smooth. It's hard to see, but this stuff definitely helps. It slips. If it doesn't slip enough, then you need to take some of this stuff and make a thing to go on here, because when it slips on itself, it's even better. But it works good. I'll put a link for this tape that comes in all widths. I got the narrow width because it was the cheapest. They want $55 for some 4-inch stuff, and the problem is you're never going to use up the whole roll. You're only going to use, so I would say get the 1-inch stuff. It's cheap. It's like $25 or something. And then just clean it real good. First, sand it good. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And then degrease it, definitely, with some acetone or Windex. And there you go. And it actually works. It keeps you going slowly. It doesn't jump. I love it. And I also had to make a modification to these gloves. You see it's cut here and it overlaps about 1.5 inches. That allows me to take my hand out of this loop without fighting it. So if you don't have the loop, it doesn't matter, but it still goes on your hand good. It still works. It goes right in and right out. It's very, very smooth. So you might want to think about that if you have something like this going and you get stuck. It helps. That's it really. This is good, especially if you're older like I am and you shake, you jump, you're not steady. This allows you just enough easy friction to keep steady on the torch. That's it for now. I'll put the link in the description for the tape. Thank you.